Hi, welcome to Senior's Last Word, and today we are talking semi-finals. Who will qualify for the semi-finals of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations? Interesting because it's quarter-final weekend and it no longer matters what happens. We've got to have a winner and we've got to have 4 teams by close of Sunday which will contest for the semi-finals and thereafter the final of the 2021 AFCON tournament. Let's go straight away. I promised I'll give you my bold predictions on who will go through the semi-finals. Game per game is where I'm going to make my prediction today. The first game, Cameroon will be taking on Gabon. Host nation against Gabon, the Cinderellas of this tournament. On paper, you would expect that Cameroon are going to have it easy. They are going to do their thing, get the crowd behind them, do their thing, Abubakar scores, and then they're through. I don't think so. I think that's far. The only reason Cameroon are where they are is because the outstanding goal scoring instincts of Vincent Abubakar, assisted of course by Ekambi, who together I think they formed a very formidable partnership. They are physically very, very intimidating. Their height, their physique, when they get the ball, they're hard to ward off, they're hard to push over. And those two, because they're giving Cameroon a cutting edge, that's the difference. If we go to the football that Cameroon are playing, or the other areas or departments of the field, I haven't seen anywhere where Cameroon are dominant or where Cameroon have excelled ahead of anyone we still have in this tournament. So they're playing against Gabon. What does Gabon have to lose? This is a team that has been very, very solid. They haven't been high scoring as Cameroon, just for goals, and they've had to concede goals. But they have been very, very solid as a team. They have belief. They've got this far because they have belief. They are working as a teamwork. They're not looking to any individuals. They have nothing to lose. And they're here by right. Actually, they've even been playing some exciting football. Gabon are going to face Cameroon, look them in the face and say, beat us if you have to, but we are going to contest for every ball and we are going to play this out to the very, very last minute. So I'm seeing Gabon taking Cameroon very, very seriously, as though they want to go all the way, and they will. The problem in this fixture is the officiation and the organization. I tend to think that there is somewhere an unwritten rule in this tournament that Cameroon must continue and go as far as they can in the tournament for the sake of the tournament, because some decisions in the games that Cameroon has been involved in have been crazy, outrageous. It will happen again, I tend to think. Think about it. You are playing Comoros in the round of 16 and Comoros gets a red card, which common sense, even though it was worthy of red card, but common sense prevails at tournaments like this, especially depending on what time a foul is committed, how bad the foul is. A referee is allowed to use common sense and logic to make decisions. But if you can give Comoros a red card in 7 minutes of a round of 16 fixture, so that the host country, Cameroon, can play against a 10-man weak team in order to make it easy for them to go through, I have a problem with that. I've had a problem with that. I've had a problem with certain decisions that I've seen at this tournament. So, because I still think that there is that unwritten law somewhere or rule that Cameroon must go through, I think I will forget about the fan base because it hasn't helped them to play better football. I'll forget about the class of footballers they have. I've not seen any outstanding difference with their players from others. And I'm saying, yes, Cameroon will win because they are Cameroon hosts and also 5-time winners. So to save them the embarrassment as organizers, their pedigree, Samuel Eto'o is the federation chief these days. Who knows? That is the reason why Cameroon will beat Gabon. And yes, we'll see. But that's my prediction. The second game, Tunisia versus Burkina Faso. 2 teams with contrasting styles, and that's the issue. Last time these two played in 2017 in this very tournament at this very stage, Tunisia did win 2-0. Burkina Faso have come again. Will they avenge the 2017 defeat, or will it still go the same route? I think as senior that Tunisia will reign again, simply because the contrasting styles of these two teams actually work in the hands of Tunisia. Tunisia don't care. They have never cared. They are a tournament team. When they get where they are now, they will play tactical football. Physically, they are as intimidating as the Cameroonians. But their pedigree, the experience playing both at the World Cup and always playing in the final stages of the AFCON, and the Arabs, who are normally very good tactically and technically, they are very calculative. They don't have the nonsense of trying this or that. They just come out to get a result. They are in the quarterfinals after suffering the group stages, after overcoming a very arrogant Nigeria in the round of 16. Now they've gained the belief. They no longer care who of the players are available out of COVID as they had. Now they just want to play the game. And believe me, when you play against Burkina Faso, who are going to come out Burkina Faso and play their natural game? What is the natural game for Burkina Faso? They love to play with flair. They love the individuals who are skilled to show what they have. They love to entertain. They play the ball, they pass it around. Yes, and that's the fancy that I personally like in football. And they are good enough to beat anyone. That is Burkina Faso. They are good enough to get past Tunisia. The problem is, this is not a group game fixture. It is who wins, either qualifies or stays. Winner stays. Burkina Faso against Tunisia. I don't give Burkina Faso a chance. So for me, it's Tunisia. The next one is Senegal and Equatorial Guinea. On any other day, any other year, at any one time, I would have given it up front to Senegal, but Senegal have suffered getting here. Imagine scoring 1 goal in 3 games, group games. That is Senegal for you. And only remembering to score 2 goals in the knockout stage against who? A 9-man Cape Verde. That for me is key. In that game against Cape Verde, knowing that they're way ahead of them in the rankings, knowing that Cape Verde may not be so bad historically, but definitely one-on-one teams put on the table and weighed, you know that in terms of weighting, Senegal will always be higher. The way they suffer to create against Cape Verde, the way they suffer to get behind the Cape Verde defense, still reminded me that anyone brave enough, if they take on this Senegalese team, they can actually eject them from the tournament. Yes, I know that Senegal were losing finalists last time around. I know that they've not been lucky enough to win, even with the golden generation they had in the 2000s. Now they probably have a chance because they've had a couple of months or probably even a year of being on top of the rankings for African teams. That could give them confidence. The fact also that they have individuals in there who we see every other week in and week out at Napoli, at Liverpool, in the French top league, that could probably intimidate anyone. But no one has been intimidated by Senegal at this tournament. No! Teams have come out and taken the game to Senegal. Zimbabwe, for instance, for me, that was a chance win, a lucky win by Senegal over a weak team as Zimbabwe. And since then, we've seen them struggling. Their strength, however, is the defense. They're the only team going into the quarterfinals that haven't conceded. But the reverse is also true. How many goals have they scored? To me, they're suffering in front of goal. They're suffering to create. They can't create goals, and that's a big problem. Do we know who will win? I think I have an idea. Should they keep within 90 minutes, Senegal will win it. Should they go beyond 90 minutes, then it becomes 50-50 because Equatorial Guinea are not going to be faced by anything. Not reputation, not names. Equatorial Guinea, for me, are the dark horses. You give them a chance, they score 1 goal and you have nothing, probably won't recover from it. They're enjoying their football. They are one of the best teams playing as a team. They are confident. Actually, they even play some entertaining football. Equatorial Guinea, they are here not for the first time, but they not usually come and qualify for this kind of stage. But they've seen that they can eject and frustrate anyone. They can surprise anyone. We still have 1 or 2 surprises in this tournament. Why do I think it might be at quarterfinal stage? Anyhow, the game still has to be played out, whether it's penalties or normal 90 minutes. In the end, though, I have to give it to Senegal because they still have the pedigree, they still have the hunger, something to prove. Sadio Mane knows, for instance, if this goes, probably no chance again. So what are they going to do? Having scored finally 2 goals in that game against Senegal, against Cape Verde, maybe they've now recovered their confidence. Maybe they're remembering that they really must show that the number 1 ranked team in Africa, and probably now they'll come out and throw everything at Equatorial Guinea. At the end of the day, I think Senegal will win this one. Finally, Egypt and Morocco. I think it's going to be the game of the quarter-final. 2 Arab countries. Personally, I think it's going to be an Arab country winning this Cup of Nations. Now, the 2 who could have actually been good enough for the final have to play against each other. Where you have 2 Arab countries playing each other before the final, and one of the countries is Egypt, I would be very hard-pressed to give it to anybody but Egypt. Egypt, too experienced at this level. Egypt, like Tunisia, they don't have to entertain anyone. They will come. They know how to play what we call tournament football. They know how to play what they have to play to win. Players like Salah, who have been lackluster, just 1 goal, yes, penalties here and there. They've not scored goals the way Egypt normally scores goals at tournaments like these. Yes, over the last 1-2 years, Egypt is not the Egypt we've always known. The Egypt that won 3 titles on the trot between 2006, 2008, and 2010. This Egypt has not been at their best, but this Egypt, we've seen signs now that finally players like Salah, who have been good elsewhere but not yet as good here on African soil, they could also call on that thing to say, I am supposed to be one of the best players in the world right now. I'm looked at as a leader. I'm supposed to lead out this team. So maybe because of that, we could see a different Salah coming out of his shelf. But the opposition is not stupid. Morocco, they know how to take care of business. These Moroccans, just like the Tunisians, they know how to defend themselves. They know how to cancel each other out. They are used to playing against each other in the club football, in CAF club competitions. They are always in the fight, the penultimate stages in these tournaments. They are used to playing each other in tournaments like this because they always go far. So it's going to be tight. But thankfully, it's not going to be devoid of incidences. It's not going to be devoid of exciting moments. I think it's going to be cracker. I think it will be a great game. At the end of the day, Egypt will be too much for Morocco. Not in terms of goals, because Egypt are not scoring goals. The manner in which Egypt really lost scoring chances against Ivory Coast in the round of 16. They did create, they were not converted. It's not common for Egypt to keep wasting chance after chance after chance. They usually don't create so many, but whatever they create, usually, the Egypt we all know, they convert. Their conversion is at a high rate. Not this time, not against Ivory Coast. Will that happen again against Morocco? I don't think so. I think if Egypt continue, now that they're getting better in the tournament, if they do continue creating the way they create, they will score those goals, they'll score their chances. Overall, I think Egypt will qualify. So what's my lineup for the semi-finals at the AFCON 2021? It is Cameroon, Tunisia, Senegal, and Egypt. 2 West African countries, 2 North African countries. That's what I think is going to happen over this weekend. And believe me, that's my opinion, and I doubt that I can change it for anything. If we see a surprise or 2, it happens in football. But Aldrin's prediction this time around gives it to Cameroon, Tunisia, Senegal, and Egypt. And that's my last one.